All right, guys. So welcome back. So we were saying that you should bear in mind what the definition of an odd number is and what the definition of an even number is, because oftentimes students get those two confused. And sometimes they will give you these numbers in the form of some kind of expression, and you should be able to say whether or not these expression will give you odd numbers or even numbers. And so they have a popular question that generally pops up on multiple choice that asks you to do that. So bear those in mind. All right, here we are continuing with our questions. And now we are at question 2. And so question 2 here says that B is the set 5, 10, 15, 20. And then you are to form all subset of B. Now, I'm not going to ask you to do that because I think you would have already know, based on the 2 first example, how to go about doing that. So instead, what I would ask you to do for question 2 is to state how many subsets can be formed from B. And that would be based on the formula that you just met. How many subsets can be formed from B? Can somebody tell me how to calculate it?
2 raised to the power of 4, sir.
All right, so the number of subset n is 2 raised to the power of 4. And if you do that calculation, how much would you get?
32.
32. All right. All right, everybody is good with question. Ms. Clark, question?
Sir, you said if it's 5, then it's isn't. So I'm not sure.
Oh, correct. So it wouldn't be 32.
Wouldn't it be 16?
It would be 16.
16.
Yes, it would be 16. That's true. All right. So all right, let us not be careless with what we're doing. So make sure we check the answers correctly. All right. All right. So for question 3, it says if A is a set 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, B is a set 3, 6, 7, 12, and C is a set 3 and 12. State which of the following statements are correct. So these are the statements here. So statement 1 would be A is a subset of B. Looking at the diagram, would you say that this one is true? True or false?
False.
False.
All right. So this one would be false. Let me try the red. I think the red works well. All right, so this one would be false. For what about B? This one. True or false? B is a subset of A.
False.
So this would be also false. Why would this one be false, Ms. Clark?
Because E have the element 7 in it and A doesn't have it.
Okay, good. What about C? True or false?
True, sir.
True.
True, sir.
All right, so C is true. What about D? True or false?
True.
Okay, true.
True is a subset of B. Yes, sir. 3 and 12.
What about E? C is a subset of B, which is a subset of A.
False.
Why is it false?
Because 7, sir, is not is not an element of A.
So
So
this
C,
part,
C, a
this
subset
part
of B would have been correct,
part-
but right, that part have been
part
incorrect.
is false.
Mm-hmm.
B is not a subset of A.
Yes, sir. And
And
that part C would have been true. That little part right there.
so even though this part is true,
Mhm.
you have a true and a false, the entire thing become false.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, moving along. Question 4. If A is 1 and 3, B is 1, 3, 5, 7, and C is 1, 3, 5. Is the statement A is a subset of B, is a subset of C correct? And if not, write down the correct statement.
Yes, sir. It's correct.
All right, so do you want a second, right? All right, sorry about that, guys. So, Miss, who was saying that this is true? I was asking you to give me your reasons, because
Yes, sir. Because all 3 sets they share common members.
all right, so A is a subset of B, and B is a subset of C,
Oh, B.
right?
No,
Is
so
it-
it would be C, a subset of B. I now see the mistake, sir. Yeah. So it's the other way around. It should be C, a subset of B.
All right, so is this correct then?
No, sir.
All right, so this is not correct. Ms. Clark?
Oh, sir, I was saying if it's not correct, sir.
Okay, all right. So they say if it is not correct, you have to write down the correct statement. So what should it be then?
A is a subset of C, which is also a subset of B.
So A is a subset of C. Which is a subset of B.
Yes, sir.
Everybody agrees with that one? Let me see your hand if you are in agreement with that one.
Repeat, sir.
This statement, is this the correct statement? Are you in agreement with the one that Ms. Clark just gave us? A is a subset of C and C is a subset of B. Is that correct? Ms. Wesa?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody who is not sure why that one is correct? Let me see your hand. All right, everybody seems to be okay with that one. All right, now question 5 says you have to write down all the proper subsets of this one. All right, now, so If you are to write down all the proper subsets, how many subsets would you get?
16, sir.
Let me say that again. If you are to write down all the proper subsets, how many subsets would you get in terms of proper subset?
Sir, would it be 15 considering the null set wouldn't be a proper subset?
Would it be 15? Ms. Waysam?
I'm thinking so, sir, yes, because the null set you say would have been an improper subset,
All
an
right.
improper set.
Is there anybody else have any other answer apart from what Ms. Waysam is giving us? Or is there anybody who is in agreement with Ms. Waysam? Let me see the hands of those who are in agreement with Ms. Waysam or Ms. Clark. Anybody else in agreement with Ms. Waysam? Anybody else have any different answer? Mr. Campbell, are you in agreement with Ms. Waysam?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Paisley, are you in agreement?
Sir, I didn't hear you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you're not listening. All right, so we are saying that this question number 5 is saying you have to write down all the proper subsets. Now, I'm not asking you to write them down because you should know by now how to write them down. So I'm asking you, how many proper subsets would you be able to get from this set? Ms. Waysam says 15, and she said because the null set is not a proper subset, and there are about 3 persons who are in agreement with her, Mr. Campbell and Ms. Clark. So I'm asking you, are you in agreement with Ms. Waysam, Mr. Paisley? You're not sure?
Not sure, sir.
Ms. Cox, are you in agreement?
Sir, me have one different answer, but me no.
You're not
Sir,
sure?
me no wrong, but me not sure about the answer.
You want to share it with us now?
Sir, I 10 me get.
Oh, you got 10. All right, hold on to that answer. Ms. Taylor, who are you in agreement with, or do you have your own answer? Are you hearing me, Ms. Taylor? Guys, I hope your mics are working and we're not in the class to be silent. Ms. Tavia,
Yes, sir.
are you in agreement with anybody?
Sir, it's 10 I got as well.
You got 10. Miss
Yeah.
Aisha Lang, are you in agreement with anybody? Ms. Lang, are you hearing me? Can you respond, please? Guys, don't hide behind the mic or behind your screen. We are here to learn together, so I'm expecting you to participate. Mr. Giovanni,
Yes, sir.
anybody that you agree with, or do you have your own answer?
Not sure, sir.
All right, Miss McIntosh, Miss Maywa.
Sir, 8.
Oh, you all right? So you have 8. Miss Cold Spring, what is your answer? Ms. Cold Spring, I'm not hearing you. Are you saying something?
You hearing me now, sir?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
15.
All right, so you share the same result as Ms. Wasom. Mr. Ojeno. Mr. Ojeno, are you hearing me? All right, I'm not hearing from Mr. Ojeno. Miss Ashanti? Miss Ashanti, are you hearing me?
Sir,
Yes. What is your answer?
I'm thinking about it, sir, because I was in and out for a bit, so.
So the answer is actually 14. Why it is 14? Because the set itself and the null set are improper subsets. So if you have 16 sets, 16 subsets, and 2 of them are improper, then the rest are proper, right? Does that clear up any confusion about it, Ms. Wasom?
Yes, sir. So you're saying that the original set, sir, wouldn't be counted
No,
as a proper subset?
that is also an improper subset.
Okay.
So the null set and the set itself, those are improper subsets. And remember,
Okay.
they're also counted among the subsets.
Okay, sir.
All right, so everybody should be good with that now. All right, so question 6, the set has 5 members. How many subsets can be formed from it? You should just be able to blurt out that answer. Anybody, how many let me ask, Miss Cold Spring, how many subsets can form from a set with 5 members? Miss Cold Spring, waiting on you, not hearing you. Miss Cummins, can you give us the answer?
So I think it's 25.
How many?
25.
How much is it, 24?
25, sir.
35? That's what you said, Miss Cummins? Can
Sir,
you,
I said I think it's 25.
you think it's 25? Okay, anybody else have an answer to this? Let me,
Is it 32?
Sir.
Oh.
32, sir.
all right, so some person,
32.
Sir.
why would it be 32?
Because 2 to the 5th power.
So you're raising 2 to the 5th power.
To the 5th power. Yes, sir.
All right, what, Miss Cummings? I think what you did was to have 5 to the 2 instead of 2 to the 5. And so if you do it like this,
Yes, sir. I think so.
right? So remember now the formula, you're raising 2 to how many members you have. Well, that is the wrong set. So you have 5 members, so you raise 2 to the 5. And so when you do that calculation, you will get 32. All right, Miss Cummings?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. Moving along. Here we are at question 7. If A is a set 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, say which of the following statements are correct. A, 2 is you remember what this symbol means? What is this symbol again, students? What it means?
An element, sir.
All right, so 2 is an element of A, or you can use 2 is a member of. So this can be an element of, or it can be a member of. All right, so whichever way you want to read it. So if you want to say 2 is a member of A, or 2 is an element of A, some persons will say 2 is in A. So if this is saying it's a member of, you're saying that this is in A. All right, so that's also another way that you can read it. So is this statement true? True or false?
Yes, sir. True.
All right, so this one is true. So B, what this symbol means?
Not a member of.
So is this true? Is A not a member of A?
False, sir.
All right, so this one is true. And this one is false.
False.
What about C?
False.
False. What about D?
True. No, well.
Yes, it is true, sir.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It's a subset of A.
What about E?
False.
False.
False. What about F?
False, sir.
That's all. Who just said that just now? Was that you, Miss McIntosh?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So why is it false? Explain. Is it a lucky guess?
Sir,
Sir?
Is it true or false that the F, is it true or false? Miss McIntosh said it's false. So I'm asking her, why is it false? So I'm agreeing
Sir,
that it is false. Go
sir,
ahead,
I
Miss.
think because, for example, D,
Mhm.
6 and 8, 6 and 8 are elements of A.
All right.
And F, 2, 6, and 8, A is not an element of 2, 6, and 8.
All right. You're saying that based on how the sign turns,
Yes, sir.
because remember, we are comparing to the greater than or less than sign. We say that the curve points to the one that is a subset of, right?
Yes, sir.
So this would be saying A is a subset of 2, 6, and 8.
Yes,
But
sir.
that is not true.
Yes, sir. It would be A is a subset. 2, 6, and 8 is a subset of A.
So in other words, the symbol should turn this way
Yes, sir.
for it to be correct. All right, very good, Miss McIntosh. At least you have been paying attention. All right, so this one would be for about somebody saying something.
So F is saying A is a subset of 2, 6, 8.
2, 6, and 8. That's what it is actually saying. Or in other words, 2, 6, 8 contains A. That's what that. So when the symbol turns around this way, it reads contains. So so what you're saying, 2, 6, 8 contains A. Is that true? Does this set contains the set A? So that wouldn't be true. Well, it is turned like this. You are saying is contained in. So you are saying 6 and 8 is contained in A, right? Which is the same thing as saying is a subset of A. You follow?
Yes, sir.
All right. So for
Sir, I have a question, sir.
go ahead with the question.
So could it also means that 2, 6, and 8 is not a subset of A, for
No,
it to be false?
no, it would not mean that. We could not say that because that would not be true. Because if you look at 2, 6, and 8, you actually have 2, 6, and 8 in A. So we couldn't say that they are not a subset. Or it is not a subset. It is actually a subset of A. Right? But this symbol is not saying that it is, but it is saying instead that A is a subset of this. You're following what I'm saying? Miss Cummings?
All right, so because you said that it's false, so that was why I was saying that if it means that 2, 6, and 8 is not a subset of A, 'cause that would be false,
Right, but that is not the statement.
because it is a subset.
Yeah, that's not the statement that this is.
Okay.
If that was saying that, then you would actually argue based on that statement. But this statement is saying something different. This statement is not saying that 2, 6, and 8 is not a subset of A. We are reading the statement based on the meaning of the symbol, right? If it was saying not a subset of, then the symbol would look like this. And then now you could ask whether or not that is true or false. You're following, Miss Cummings?
Yes, sir.
And this would be false for us to say that, right? But for this statement, this one is saying, if you read this symbol from the other way around, where the curve points to A, you can read it from right to left and say, this is saying A is a subset of 2, 6, and 8. So that's what this is saying. So is A a subset of 2, 6, and 8?
Yes, sir.
No, man, listen what I'm saying. Is A subset of this set where 2, 6, and 8 is? Is this set A a subset of this? Remember, this is the set A, you know. All of this is the set A. Can you get this set out of this?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, sir.
You
That's,
follow
I
what I'm
understand what
saying?
you're saying now.
Right, so this is not true because you cannot get the entire set A out of this. Following now, miss? All right, good. Moving on. All right, so H now. That's where we are, right? Did we do G already? So let us do, is G true or false?
I think it's
True.
Mm.
4 and 6 is a
True.
set of A. True, right? What about H?
False.
False.
False. Correct. And everybody should know why that is false, right? So question 8 here says, P is the set 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. How many subsets can be formed from P? You don't have to give me the actual number, just give me the formula on how you would calculate it. What would be, if you had to determine how many subsets can form from P, how would you calculate that using the formula?
2 to the power
To the 8 4.
So you count how many members you have here.
2 to the power of 8.
That would be 2 to the power of 8. All right. Everybody should be clear on that. All right, so that would be the end of subsets. Now I'm going to stop share this and then start on a different slide. So our next slide will be the universal sets. All right, so that's what we'll be looking at. All right, so when we talk about a universal set, universal, when you hear the word universal, what comes to your mind?
All the elements fall underneath a set.
But without thinking of set, universal means what?
All the elements.
All right, let me say it in a different way. If we say universe, what comes to your mind?
Everything coming under one, sir.
All right, everything coming under one. All right, so we know that the universe is where all things exist, right? So everything that you can think of would exist in the universe, all right? Now, scientists have all different kind of idea about universe. They may think that, yeah, some may say, all right, we have just one universe and everything is in that one universe. Some scientists may come up with the idea, oh, you have parallel universe. So that is saying that you have two or more universe. However, for the purpose of math, we're considering universe to be just one universe where all things are. Now, the things that we are considering in the universe in terms of maths would be based on the different members that we define in that universe. And for the number system, all the numbers that we would have learned about would be in the universal set of numbers, right? So a universal set is a set that consists of all the elements that belong in that universe, all right? So the universal set is denoted using these symbols, but I would now say that these symbols are classical symbols. That means they are old-time symbols, they are outdated. They are no longer the symbols that we use, especially in CSEC. So you won't be seeing these symbols in CSEC unless they might want to come up with something new. But in most of the older textbooks, these were the symbols that they use to denote universal set. Now for CSEC, you may just see just a U looking like that. And that is what they use to represent the universal set or denote the universal set. All right, so the universal set, whether you're using the classical symbols or the modern day ones, the universal set contains all possible elements being considered for that universe. So that's, we could call that a definition. Now, Venn diagram. Now, Venn diagram is a diagram that we use to illustrate how sets are related, right? Now, a Venn diagram, the diagram itself came about by a person known as Joseph Venn. He's the person who starts to put sets in the form of a diagram, in the diagram that we call Venn diagram. He was the person who started it, and so they use his last name to call it Venn diagram. All right, so that's how the name Venn diagram came about. So the universal sets and its subsets are represented by a Venn diagram. Now notice that we say the universal set and its subset, meaning that within the universal set, we will have other sets in the form of subsets. All right, now, the universe to which we belong consists of everything we can imagine. Imagine an empty universe which we can represent with a rectangle. So here, if we have the rectangle here would denote the universal set. So just an empty universe would be just a rectangle when we are using the Venn diagram. So if you get just a rectangle, so the rectangle is the general set or general shape that tells you the universal set. Now, any other subset within the universal set is often they often are denoted by using circles. All right. Now, the universal set may consist of many different subsets which are presented by different parts of the diagram. Sorry, represented by different parts of the diagram. Now, a set A belonging to this universe is represented by a circle. So here we have the rectangle for the universal set. And then now set A, which is a subset of the universal set, is represented by a circle. Now, how many subsets of this universal set do we have? Let me see the hands. How many subsets you think are in this universe? Anybody?
One, sir.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
How many subsets is in this universal set?
One.
So easily we forget, right?
Is it 3?
Would it be 3?
Sir, 2, A and
Two.
sir.
The empty set would be a subset, and the set itself, the universal set itself would be a subset, but those would be proper, right?